everyone. Welcome to Michelle's Mystic Corner. So, today we are going to be discussing outcomes and attachments, outcomes to attachments. So, make sure that volume is down. All right. So before we get started, I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I know we've got Dax is there, Jimmy's in there, Purple Moon Tarot's in there. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Let's see. Okay. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? Okay, so I am going to pull a card for our topic today. Sounds a little weird, but I got the dog card. And what that represents is loyalty, companionship, faithfulness. And for our topic, this is actually a really good card because this is what you need to do for yourself. You need to learn to be your own best friend, your own confidant, your own your own self motivator. There we go. So this card actually speaks a lot when it comes to being attached to an outcome. And we'll go deeper into that as we get into our discussion. Okay. Just kind of going between checking the chat. So before we dive too much deeper into the topic, I just want to bring up that if you want to get a hold of me, you are more than welcome. I am at psychic.cafe/Michelle. All of my readings are on sale, $49.99. And all of my numerology reports are also $49.99. And just leave me a message and we can get set up and absolutely have a great time doing that. So there is that for you. Okay, so attachments. It is so easy to get attached to an outcome. I know for me personally, when I first wanted to become a tarot reader, okay, I had a plan and I knew what the outcome was going to be. And the outcome did not turn out the way I wanted it to be. I was devastated. I was really, really just like, oh, this is not going to happen, right? I was ready to give up. And so when you have an attachment to an outcome, it can really cause a lot of heartache, a lot of pain and suffering, a lot of time that you don't want to spend in that area. And so you have to learn how to live in the moment. You have to learn how to, I have some notes here, let go of attachments, which is releasing your attachment to a specific result. And I know that is so hard to do. So hard. So, what it boils down to is basically you have to let whatever happens, happens, because it's all about how you deal with it. So, I guess in a way, another appropriate card would be the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck. And of course, I have mine back there and I will pull that out. But it's going to turn. Life is going to turn and things may not be the way you want them to be. But your attitude can help along the way. How you perceive things, how you work things, how you have your attitude, your behavior, that is all part of it. And so here are some things. Did you know that an attachment to an outcome can actually cause that pain and suffering? Because a lot of people don't know that. So when you are really, really attached to an outcome and it doesn't happen, or you see that it's heading down the path of it not happening, a lot of people fall into depression. They want to give up. They don't want to go any further. They go backwards in their life or in their plans. And it really does cause a lot. There's anxiety, there's attachments to anything and everything you can think of. And so when you release those, okay, you have to focus, first of all, on the process, which is part of being in the now, being in the present moment. And so when you give over that attachment and that outcome, okay, and you just say, whatever happens, happens, but you're going to take all the steps and you're going to let the universe work it, because you're going to keep the positive attitude that it's going to work out. You just got to know that if it doesn't, there's a reason behind it, because the universe always has a reason, and it takes things out that is not good for you, whether you see it or not. Okay, so attachment is okay. It's also letting go of that attachment, letting go of that outcome. It's also about accepting what is, rather than striving for the premeditated outcome. So to do that, you need to focus on what you can continue and be present in the now. Practice non-attachment. Now, that one's really hard. Releasing your grip on a specific desire and outcome. And again, it's not that you're letting go and saying, oh, it's not going to happen, whatever. It's just you're putting your manifestation out there, you're putting, your work out there, and you're saying, whatever happens, happens. And I'm not going to worry about that outcome. I'm just going to worry about the steps to get to that destination of the outcome. Because when you're focusing on those steps on the now, you're not focused on the outcome and stressing your mind out. And that's another big thing. Keeping your mind unstressed and decluttered by not focusing so much on the outcome, but focusing on what you need to do now. Okay. You will find that there is freedom and inner peace. And it is so true. I know that when I am doing my work or studying, and I know I have this coming up and I have to get this done so that I can pass this next test, right? When I release that attachment to that outcome, and I focus solely on what I'm studying and don't stress on that test, I do so much more. I get so much more accomplished, and I retain more as well. And then I have that peace inside of me that's like, oh, yeah, I know that because I haven't been worrying about it. Okay, so it can improve your relationships. This is another thing. When you are attached to an outcome, you can become so focused on that outcome that everybody else around you is going to feel that. So when you're feeling yourself with the inner peace from letting go of that outcome, those relationships around you, you are more able to process and grow the relationships that you already have, instead of secluding yourself and being so focused on that one aspect and so stressed that everything around you is just flying and people are like, I don't want nothing to do with her. Been there, done that. So, yeah, and sadly, I know that. Let's see, let me check my. Okay. He said he found it okay. Green Earth Flow. Oh, wow. He said he'd found an apartment. I'm a. You and me both. You and me both, Dax. I got my cup of coffee. Okay. So, another thing about letting go of attachments is that you have more self-compassion for yourself, and that's huge. because you need to be able to have that compassion on yourself, be able to forgive yourself and say, it's okay. You're okay. You are still loved. And that's big, because sometimes you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I do love you. I might cuss you out, but I love you. And it does help. I've told myself that a few times. And so, how do we let go of these attachments? Okay, so the first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you are attached to a specific outcome. And so, if you are, for example, going to get online and do a tarot reading, and you think, oh, this is going to be fantastic and everything is going to go great. And then you start worrying about, oh, wait, I'm gonna fail, or oh, this is gonna go so great, it's gonna be a breeze. But then you don't focus on what you need to do to prepare. You can trip yourself up. So you need to acknowledge where those attachments to the outcomes are, because that'll help you start the process. And then you need to start practicing meditation, mindfulness, write yourself a love letter. Take time to really start getting to know your own inner self, your own energy. And that's another thing, is a lot of people do not know their own energy. And there is meditations out there that'll help you to learn and feel the energy that you have. So that is another one. Another one is to challenge your expectations. Don't give yourself a hard expectation, or an outcome. Don't give yourself an outcome that is way too hard to actually achieve, but don't give yourself something that is so easy to achieve that you're just checking things off. Oh, I'll just do that because it's easy. I'll just make sure I do this because I know I got this. Give yourself something to actually achieve, so that you can grow with the outcomes and learn how to deal with the negative outcome and not be as burdened and heavy. Okay. Yes, exactly. It is okay not to be perfect, because I know I'll be writing, and even when I'm doing a rough draft, I'll be writing and I'll mess up, tear up the paper, throw it away, start over 5, 6 times. It is okay to not be perfect. Yes. Okay. You want to embrace uncertainty. And so you need to be prepared. If something is unsure that you don't know about, then you need to embrace that. Love on that. Take that in and be like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where this next step is going to go, but I'm okay with it. And we're going to just do this. Let's see here. You're going to practice gratitude, because when you give gratitude, the universe gives back to you. So practice gratitude and learn from your setbacks. When you make a mistake along the path and you think, okay, this is going to affect the outcome, learn from that setback. So when you do something the next time, or you do have to redo a project, you have already learned, and you can take that setback, write down what you did wrong, what you did right, and just make sure next time you know your mistake and you know where to walk forward on the next round. And then the biggest one that I find your enoughness. You are enough. A lot of people, when they have an outcome that doesn't happen the way they want, oh, I wasn't good enough. I did it wrong. Absolutely not. You are enough. And you need to keep that somewhere. somewhere in your mind, somewhere in your journal, I am enough. Because if you don't step into your enoughness, then you will not be able to look at the outcome that may not have turned out and go, okay, that didn't turn out. Let me look at this silver lining over here because this is where I'm supposed to be going. So, um, letting go of an outcome does not mean that you don't care what happens. It just simply means that your happiness is not going to depend on that result. And that's the biggest takeaway, is that you cannot let your happiness, your person, your enoughness depend on that outcome, because if you do, that's where you're going to falter. So let's see here. Develop a trust in the universe. Have faith. So, detachment from a particular outcome is really another way of saying, I have trust in the universe or in your God or goddess or whatever source you believe in and have. So, as long as you're looking outside yourself in the external world for a source of happiness or self worth, you will feel vulnerable and insecure. So, you need to look inward, not outward, for your happiness. And happiness, inner peace, it does fall in with those outcomes that you attach yourself to. So, here's one thing I like to do. Another way to practice letting go is that several times during the day, I will take 3 or 4 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And what that does is it gives energy to your brain, which allows you to think clearer. It allows you to get in touch with your energy, with your inner self. And then you can start seeing things a little more clear. So when you sit down and you start a project, breathe in, release. Do that 3 or 4 times, and it'll clear your mind a little bit to be able to focus on the present moment. See, perfectionism is a trap. Yes, I'm guilty too. It is. Perfectionism is a horrible trap. Okay. Um, be gentle with yourself and be in balance. So when you are feeling out of balance and you're feeling really attached to that outcome and it's dwelling in your mind and you can't focus on anything but that, that is your time to maybe go for a walk, go hug a tree. I like to play with the leaves on the trees, put your feet in the dirt, talk to Mother Nature, do your breathing exercises, talk to yourself. Those are the times when you need to practice mindfulness. And that can be hard when you're feeling angry and you just want to rip up the paperwork. That's when you stop and you just breathe and then you keep going. So, there are attachments to outcomes in everything. It can be physical, it can be mental, it can be anything. And it's not always bad to be attached to an outcome, depending on all the circumstances around it. So that's something to look into there. There are different things. I know that when I do a tarot reading for myself, I'm always attached to the outcome. Okay, I'll pull a card and be like, oh, wait, I wanted that to happen. This card doesn't fit. I cannot do a reading for myself. Okay, I can. I'm attached to the outcome. And so I don't do those readings very often because that's where I falter, those outcomes. I'm attached. So, and it's okay to be attached. But again, this is your chance to start being your own best friend and stop being your own worst enemy. Start being attached. Put your leash and hold on to the present moment. Hold on to right now. Hold on to what you need to do right now to accomplish that goal. But don't worry about the goal, just work on the goal. And take that leash off of the goal and put it onto the present moment and stand by yourself. Not by yourself, but stand beside yourself. Let's see here. Meditate to manifest, then take action. Just go and take breaks and keep learning. Yes. Hi, Aloha Jay. How are you? We are talking today about attachments and outcomes and how it can affect us all. And so, all right, let's see here. So let's see. I am going to, yes, that's another thing. Okay, so Aloha Jay just put in there grateful. You, I try to be grateful for the outcomes that don't happen the way I would like them to, even when they're horrible. Because, and being grateful is not easy sometimes, but there's always something to be grateful for. There's always that silver lining somewhere that you can say, okay, it didn't work out this way. I see what is going on. Now I can be grateful that I didn't take that path because this could have happened. Or, oh, I'm grateful that I went down this path instead of going down that outcome path because I was able to help somebody over here, or somebody helped me that I needed. So gratefulness does play a role in your attachments to the outcomes. Okay, so I am going to go back a little. And see if there are any questions. Okay, Miss Maria. All right. Let me grab my other deck as well. Sorry. Thought I had it out, but I did not. Another new deck that I have not done a deck review on, but I'm getting there. So, okay, Miss Maria, when it comes to Philip, I do not know if he is lying. That's the way for you to know. That's something for you to find out. Okay. And all you have to do is really ask him. But I got the Knight of Swords. So he may already have the apartment. Okay. So action is happening, but it's all verbal. So what you need to do is ask him straight out. Do you really have an apartment? Because I'm giving you 1 month to get that apartment done, to be out. Okay. The next card I have for you is the Page of Cups. It is time for you to step into the role that you were meant for. You are not meant to carry water for another person. And that's what you are doing with Philip. You are carrying his water. You are carrying everything for him. It is time for Philip to be Philip. Okay. So what you need to do is be brave, grab your emotional baggage there, and tell him 1 week, no more 1 month, because I know this situation. You got 1 week. Tell him 1 week, get out. The nights move a lot faster than the pages. So that is the universal advice for you. Whether he has the apartment or not, tell him 1 week. Hi, Kelsey. Okay, is there any other questions I can answer? Okay. I dropped a card, guys. Okay. Do the cards have any advice for me to let go of smoking cigarettes? And Kelsey asked, will I secure a job at Fidelity Investments? Okay. So with Kelsey, I'm going to say, will I secure a job at Fidelity Investments? Okay. Okay, so I've got the Six of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Lovers. So when it comes to the Six and the Seven, there is some success happening, and I see a boss. It looks like could be a boss for the Seven. And then there is you coming in on the horse. The Six is victory. And the wands is action. So I see that this job could very well come to pass. I also got the lover's card. So the lover's card can sometimes represent choices, not relationships. So make sure this is the right job because you have a choice here. And I feel like there may be another job opportunity that you want to look into before you jump at this one, but I do see that this could very well happen at the Fidelity Investments. So that's what I have for you. Okay. Let's see. Do the cards have any advice for me to let go of smoking? I know a great hypnosis. His name is Dax. Okay. All right. So I have the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So here is you carrying this baggage. So you are there, you are ready to let go of what is burdening you, which is the smoking. So with the Eight of Cups, it has become an emotional habit for you. So you have to do more than just put it down and walk away. You have to start to despise it. You have to start feeling a negative emotion for the cigarette versus just wanting to quit, right? So it's time. I drew the fox. I drew a card out of my Lenormand deck and I drew the fox. So it is time for you to start doing something a little more cunning than to just think I need to quit smoking, which is where you were at by asking. But when it comes to the fox, they are super smart, super clever, and they want to do things that other people don't necessarily see them doing, like, changing a patch or chewing the gum. And so hypnosis, seeing a hypnotherapist may be helpful. Talking to a counselor may be helpful, but use your wisdom. These birds are about wisdom because they are the owls. So No, you just got the Seven of Swords. Awesome. Cunning. Yes. It is time to be cunning. It is time for you maybe to see someone and start changing your thought pattern. Start thinking and saying every time you smoke a cigarette, oh, I hate the taste of this. This really tastes gross. So that would be one step right there, is start programming your mind. Every night when you go to bed, just repeat this saying, ugh, I hate smoking. It really is horrible. And you're going to start thinking that throughout the night. So say that 3 to 5 times before you go to bed, and make sure you're in that state where you're really ready to lay down, because then that's going to get your mind rolling. So that's what I have for you. Oh, Dak said he also got the Hermit card, seeing someone that specializes in quitting smoking. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Jimmy Dax is great. He can definitely help you. Okay. Aloha J. A job opportunity came up at my company. Should I jump at the opportunity or at least explore the possibility? Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So for Jay, the first thing I got is the Two of Wands. So it is definitely time to act on your action. Act on your passion. So whatever that may be, now is the time to do that. And so, um, sorry, I was reading your post there. Um, So yes, I would definitely jump on that opportunity, because this card is showing you that there is the opportunity and now is the time to do it. I also got the Four of Swords. So when it comes to exploring the possibility, think on it a little bit more and make sure this is what you want. Sleep on it tonight, and if it still resonates with you in the morning, you need to jump on it. However, we have the Strength card. So with that, you need to remember that there will be challenges along the way, okay? But you need to be soft on yourself because it's about compassion. But you need to be strong with yourself and forge through, and don't hate on yourself during the process. Okay. And then I got the Cross and the Garden. So let go of your burdens, let go of your fears, let go of your self doubt, and step into this opportunity, because this Garden card is about teamwork. It's about being in a group of other people. It's about meeting with other people, celebrations. So definitely jump on this opportunity. Hi, Ladybug. How are you? Let's see. Will it be soon? Okay. So when it comes to will it be soon, I'm gonna go ahead and answer this one. I got the Nine of Pentacles, and this is a really cool card. And so Pentacles don't move very fast. So maybe within a week or so, I would give them a call if you don't hear back from them. That would be the timing I would put on that. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh, anytime. Glad I can answer. Let's see. Did for the possibility? Yes. Okay. I answered that question. Sippity doo da, sippity day. Yes, right? Thank you for that beautiful cup of coffee. And now I'm going to be singing that song, that tune all day. I love it. I love it. And so for Aloha J, I just want to add that I got the Ace of Cups. So I feel that this job opportunity that you were talking about is going to give you a new sense of an emotion. There's going to be a fresh start. You're going to feel very much new and empowered. I feel like this could be a very good thing for you emotionally. So I just wanted to add that for you. Okay. Will we be moving into a 3-bedroom house anytime this year? Okay. Let's see. Will we be moving into a 3-bedroom this year? Okay. So I have the moon card. We're going to start with the moon card, and this is in the Lenormand. So there is all sorts of possibilities available. All you have to do is use your intuition, make things happen with manifestation, dig into your subconscious, and make sure that you are ready to move into a 3-bedroom house. Get yourself prepared. Okay, I got the Hanged Man. So you need to make sure you are looking at every single angle before you even start planning on moving. Make sure you are ready. Make sure you have your finances in order. Make sure what I like to do is, so if I'm going to say want to move into a 3-bedroom and I need a new perspective, I have my whiteboard and I'll write on it, my goal. So 3 bedrooms. And then I'll write what comes with that. Do I have the money for the house insurance? Do I have the money for or renter's insurance or flood insurance? First and last month's rent, whatever it is that you want to add to what you need to make this happen. And then as you get yourself all these things in order, you can start checking them off or crossing them off. Okay. And so get prepared by looking at every single angle that you wouldn't even normally think to look for. And then I got the King and Queen of Wands. And so, yes, this could very well happen. This is all about balance and unity. So I can see the 3-bedroom coming at you. But what you need to make sure is that you are prepared. You are in balance. Don't let yourself get off kilter with this. You can hold on to the outcome that, yes, you are going to get this, but be prepared for, okay, if this doesn't happen, I have a backup plan. Don't hold on to the outcome, but just work on the now and work on the steps to make sure you get to the outcome. So that's what I have for you. Okay. About expectations that can ruin a question or an outcome. Okay. expectations can ruin an outcome. They actually can, because if you put too much expectation in one spot, it can really distract your focus. It can, if you are so focused on the outcome that the things that are expected of you, you can tend to forget and not do those certain things. And then the outcome completely falls apart because pieces are missing. Does technology have the mind to have a habit of expectations that ruin an outcome? Does technology train the mind to have a habit of well, I think technology brainwashes all of us in all reality. Um, because one of the things that I like to do that I haven't done in a while, and I'm so guilty, um, shut it all off, shut it all down, spend a weekend, even a day with no technology, because we can get so focused on the technology. Um, I can, if I'm working on something and I have a show playing in the background and I go over here for a minute and start watching that show, and then I come back, I have allowed that technology to enter my mind, and now I've lost my focus on my project. So, yes, I do believe technology can definitely influence the mind to let those expectations give you the bad outcome that will happen. So, yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And a student of the mind, that's exactly what tech does. Yep. Yep. I agree. Yeah, and it starts so young. I mean, our kids start watching these shows and these, I mean, Minecraft is in the at the movie theaters. It's everywhere. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't want my grandkids watching it. They're 3 and 5, 5 and 4 and 5, and they some of them love it, and I'm like, oh, you guys, quit watching that stuff, because it brainwashes them to think that certain things are okay, and it dumbs down our it dumbs down the love we have for each other. It really, really does. That is 100% how I feel. Okay. Yes, they are very hypnotic. They really are. Is there any other questions I can answer for anybody today? If not, that is cool. I'm going to say last call for questions. Put them in the chat. I will get them answered. Let's see. We have, okay, let me go back here real quick. Um, Tomorrow at the same time, we have common myths and misconceptions about tarot. That is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait, because there are a lot of myths that a lot of people think are true and they're just not. So that's going to be fun. Join us tomorrow. Um, Next Saturday, I will be back. Hi, Astrid. How are you? And we are talking about walking in confidence, I believe is what it is, or moving forward in confidence. It's about confidence. So we're going to have fun with that subject. And then if you check out our events page at the psychic.cafe/events, there is all the events coming up. You will be able to see what's going on. There will not be a show during the week, unless I go live on my channel, but I might just do that on TikTok. I keep saying that, but I've been so busy during the week. Oh, so yes, moving forward with confidence. That is next Saturday, the 19th, right here at the same time. Um, yeah, so I hope to see everybody tomorrow. Again, all of my readings are on sale, $49.99. All of my numerology reports, $49.99. You can message me at psychic.cafe/Michelle, or you can email me at Michelle@psychic.cafe. Come join our cafe. We have a lot of fun. I am going to start posting again now that things are smoothing out and getting easier, so that's a good thing. Let's see here. I'm just going through the chat real quick. Right. So if there are no other questions, I'm going to end the show a little bit early. As long as Dax is still in there, he is. Okay. And I just want to thank everyone for being here, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.